All right, thanks. Thanks a lot. We're recording now. Hello, everybody. My name is Tom Timbrooks. Welcome to another episode of my little show where I try to get you to vote for me. And here we go. I am Thomas W. Timbrooks. That's the way it's going to appear on the ballot. And I am running for the United States House of Representatives. That's the one over there in Washington, D.C. Okay, I know we got a House of Representatives over here in Oregon also. That's the state legislature. I'm looking for United States House of Representatives, okay? And I want to be representing Oregon's 6th Congressional District. That's the new Congressional District. That's the one that was created in 2020 because Oregon got a whole bunch of more people coming in there. And that's my whole thing is I want to make Oregon's 6th Congressional District America's greatest congressional district. Let's look back there. Aren't I a good-looking guy? Yeah, I am. You can trust me. Somebody who looks as good as me, you can definitely trust me. So anyways, news of the day is New York City is now being... Well, the mayor of New York City is Ron Mandavi. Hope I got that pronunciation correctly. He is a socialist. And a lot of people, there's a lot of feelings, a lot of different opinions that people are having about a socialist being in charge of New York City. Personally, now, anybody who's familiar with me, anybody who's familiar with anything I've been saying, I don't like socialism, I don't like communism, I absolutely hate it. But the people of New York City have chosen Zoran Mandavi, and I got some notes here, see. So, New York City does not support socialism, they just dislike Donald Trump. So they want to kind of go with the opposite of Donald Trump. And so they bought into the shared delusion that Trump wants to control them. And that shared delusion just comes from very successful marketing. And politics is all about perception over reality. And marketing is what controls your perception. Marketing is what gets you to buy something that you don't really need or may not be really good for you. I mean, that's why you eat Doritos corn chips. Doritos corn chips are not exactly a health food, but man, they taste good. The same thing with Taco Bell. I mean, I love Taco Bell food. I know it's not the best kind of food for me. It's not like a health food, but I'm not going to stop eating it. And, you know, marketing is a big part of that. So, you know, I mean, Taco Bell, Doritos, they're constantly reminding you that they are available. You know, that choice is available. And it's the same thing with a socialist mayor. Essentially, the reason I think that he has been elected is just a successful marketing campaign. He's not necessarily the best choice for New York, but he is the result of a successful marketing campaign. And, you know, that's what politics is all about, is a successful marketing campaign. And, you know, what I'm about here, I am a Republican, and I am campaigning in Oregon, which is a very, very liberal state, very, very Democrat state, especially 6th Congressional District, which is a very Democrat district. So I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to win, but I got to put it out there. I'm like Brussels sprouts, okay? I know that people come to the grocery store and the first thing they go for is the Doritos, but I'm going to put Brussels sprouts out there anyway, just in case you want a healthy alternative, okay? I am the Brussels sprouts that most people aren't thinking about eating, but I'm good for you. I know you're going to try to get that bag of Doritos and, you know, stop by Taco Bell on the way home. I've done that before. Go to the grocery store, you get $100 worth of groceries, and, you know, on the way home, just stop by Taco Bell because you really don't feel like cooking. So, you know, that's the thing. I want to put myself out there as what I consider to be the healthy alternative from socialism. And, you know, socialism, Oregon has in the past decade or so had a really unhealthy relationship with socialism. And I want to, as a Republican, I want to fix some of the problems that have been created by Oregon's failed experiment in socialism, and help Oregon become a better place. So anyways, getting back to what I was talking about here, as a result of this shared delusion, New York City is running from a leader that doesn't want to control them, Donald Trump, and is running towards an ideology that will eventually seek to control them, which is socialism. They're depending on socialism to fix the delusion that they're suffering from, that Donald Trump is bad for them. They're running away from Brussels sprouts and they're running towards Taco Bell, which, that's, anyways. So, some people want to, okay, and this is where I'm going to get into my presentation. I'm sorry about that. I'm an engineer. The very first thing I learned being an engineer, take notes. Okay, the notes are very important. They'll keep you going in the direction. See, I just right now, I walked away from my notes. I looked up here. Boom, my notes are going to keep me on. I got to stay with the notes, okay, and the slides and everything. That's part of being an engineer, okay? This is how you know I'm not AI. I'm not AI because, looking at my notes and everything, okay? So anyways, some people want to blame the Muslim religion, and I am not supporting those people. Zoran Mandabi is getting up there. He's saying, he's Muslim, and yes, he's Muslim. I have a terrific respect for the Muslim religion. I have respect for all of the religions of the world, all of the great religions of the world. And some people are saying, the Muslims, didn't they do the 9/11 thing? Yes, some radical Muslims are responsible for the 9/11 attack on the World Trade Center. Yes, I am not blaming, I absolutely will not blame the entire population of Muslims in the world for the actions of a handful of lunatics. I think Teddy Roosevelt coined the phrase, I think, a handful of lunatics. When he was referring to people in the United States who felt that the United States should extend its influence all the way from Mexico, Central America, and South America, and Canada. So yeah, he called these people a handful of lunatics, which, I mean, a handful of lunatics is really all it takes to ruin the reputation of an amazing religion, like the Muslim religion. I guess it's the Islamic religion, Muslim people. I'm sorry if I offend you, but it's just my confusion here. You have 5 really great religions in the world. Christianity is one of them, of course, Judaism, Islam. Buddhism is an amazing religion throughout Asia, the Hindu religion throughout India. There are other religions that are not as widely followed, but those are the big 5 religions of the world. And the thing I really respect and love about religion is that, see, and I wrote it down here, religion is the social fabric that keeps society from falling apart. We need religion in our world. We need religion in America. We need religion on the planet. People, civilizations, societies need religion. And yes, we will every once in a while have some bad people in each of those religions. I mean, you could spend a weekday, a week, a month, a year listing all of the bad examples of every religion that has ever existed. But religion itself is a positive influence on civilization, a positive influence on society. So I am not going to chastise or insult or ridicule the Islamic religion for this. In fact, I want to spend today's broadcast, or not broadcast, what am I calling it? Presentation. Today's YouTube presentation, I want to spend a big part of it defending the Islamic faith. I want to defend Muslims, okay? So I'm going to start my little slideshow here. Defending America's Muslim community from Muslim extremism. And I want to emphasize that these are American citizens. These are Americans. They live in America. They are protected by America's Constitution. When Americans created the Declaration of Independence, they made a simple statement that every human being has the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And the Constitution of the United States is our roadmap that we use to protect every American citizen's right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And the very first part of our Constitution, our First Amendment, protects their right to freedom of religion. The Congress shall make no law regarding the citizen's right to exercise freedom of religion. Now, I'm sure they meant Christianity at the time, but they also said in our Declaration of Independence, all men are created equal. I'm sure what they meant was all human beings are created equal. So that was 250 years ago. They had a different way of talking back then, a different way of thinking. So we're going to update that policy. All human beings are created equal, endowed by their Creator, God, with the inalienable rights, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. And so the First Amendment extends into the Muslim faith. The Islamic people are protected under the Constitution of the United States. So I'm going to spend today defending them. I hope they don't mind. I hope I'm a Christian, but I'm an American, and Americans must. Well, we have to defend the Constitution. It's what we have. It's what keeps us. It's what makes us better than everybody else in the world. That we obey the Constitution. So here. Defending America's Muslim community from Muslim extremism, setting the stage. Why people come to America. The United States is a refuge for freedom, safety, and opportunity. Muslims come seeking protection from violence and oppression. Just like everybody else. Everybody comes to America seeking protection from violence and oppression. Muslims do the same thing. The conditions they flee. Some nations impose cruel punishments on women and children, acid attacks, forced marriages, and violence against defiance. This is tyranny using religion as a weapon, not true Islam. What they hope for is equality under U.S. law, freedom of speech, religion, and education for mothers, wives, and daughters. Okay. The American promise is that America protects people, not ideologies. Our Declaration of Independence, like I said a little while ago, our Declaration of Independence protects all the people and the human rights of those people, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We protect those. We protect people. We protect their rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And when we have people of any religion facing persecution for the way they choose to follow that religion, then we have to welcome them in America, because, I mean, we are all what is it Bill Murray said in that movie Stripes, okay? The movie Stripes. Americans have this one thing in common. Our ancestors were kicked out of every decent country on the face of the earth. We are the wretched refuse that nobody else wanted. We all have that in common. And America's Muslim community, our Islamic community, our Muslim citizens, they were kicked out of their countries because they chose not to do the things that other Muslim people were enforcing. The acid attacks, the abuse, the violence, all that. Right now, there is in Africa Christian genocide, and this is being carried out by Muslim extremists. Well, I absolutely guarantee you, it is not all of the Muslim people in Africa who want to carry out genocide against Christians. Genocide is not a normal act. It is not the act of a person who is sane. Genocide is an insane act carried out by insane people. The problem that Muslim people have in Africa is that if they don't carry out this genocide, then the Muslim extremists will hurt their families. So they aren't doing it because they want to, they're doing it because they have to. I mean, they're saying basically, if you don't kill these Christians, then we're going to kill your family because you are not Muslim. You are not adhering to what we feel is the proper way to observe the Islamic faith. So that's, and I'm digressing here, that's why they come to America, and that's why we have to protect them. So America protects people, not ideologies. Our Declaration of Independence, like I said. So the hidden struggle. Extremists sometimes follow refugee communities into the United States. They try to reimpose the control that refugees fled. The threat within the refuge. Women and children are again silenced by fear and intimidation. Threats can extend to families overseas. And what I'm talking about there is, okay, with the previous administration's open borders policy, that sounds great. It sounds wonderful. Hey, you want to come to America? Come to America. It's great. It's beautiful. We will protect you. The problem is that some of the people who came to America were the Islamic fundamentalists that were imposing these crazy ideologies back in Africa, back in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in places like that. The reason these Islamic people came to America was to get away from those maniacs who hijacked their religion. Their beautiful, wonderful religion was taken over by a handful of lunatics. And that's all that it takes to cause these people to commit inhuman atrocities. They want to keep their families safe from the retribution that these high-level maniacs can inflict on their families. So they do these things, not because they want to, but because they have to. These kinds of things are not the act taken by a rational, sane human being. They are the acts taken by desperate people trying to protect their families from what kind of atrocities can be inflicted on them if they don't. So that's why they come to America, is to protect their immediate family from these maniacs. And with these maniacs coming into America to threaten their families again, these crazy people who were over in Africa committing these Christian genocides, they were in other Muslim countries, predominantly Muslim countries, they're carrying out these acts. They came to America, and now they are influencing our American citizens. They happen to be Muslim. They happen to be Islamic people of the Islamic faith. They are American citizens, and they are being threatened by these people who want to enforce this way of thinking, this way of acting that they don't want to adhere to. But they have to in order to protect their family members in these far-off countries. I mean, these people in America will directly report to the leaders of whoever it is, it's Boko Haram and so forth, these people who are committing these Christian genocides in Africa and throughout the world, they're going to report to these people. They're going to say, okay, you know, this guy here in, I think it's Dearborn, Michigan, that has a lot of a very big Muslim community. These people here in Dearborn, Michigan, yeah, this guy right here, he's not doing what we think he should be doing. He's not marching around in the street, beating his chest and taking one of those flagellation whips to his back. He's not doing that. Therefore, we should commit some kind of atrocity to his family over there in whatever country he's from. And that's what they're doing. And we in America, we have to protect our American citizens who happen to be Muslim. We have to protect them from these people who came here through the open doors policy from the previous administration. And that's what we're doing with ICE. That's why I support ICE. ICE is helping American citizens by removing the threat to their life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And they're doing it by following the directions set forth in the Constitution. Article 2 of the Constitution provides the President of the United States with the responsibility of upholding the law, defending the citizens. And Article 4 of the Constitution allows the federal government to intervene in local governments where local governments lack the ability or the desire to do what the government is supposed to do, and that is to act collectively when the individual cannot. Okay, so the purpose of the government is to accomplish collectively that which cannot be accomplished by the individual. And I will tell you, in America's Islamic communities, the individual cannot protect himself or herself from what the open door policy created. So our American government, our previous administration allowed these individuals to come in. So this administration's responsibility is to remove the bad influence that is causing problems in America's Islamic community. American citizens are suffering. America's government needs to act. So that's what this is all about. And this is why it's not the Islamic faith. It is a handful of lunatics who are trying to hijack a beautiful, wonderful religion. So, women and children are again silenced by fear and intimidation. The threats can extend to families overseas. Why the communities stay silent? Well, fear of being called traitors by the radicals. Fear of being misunderstood by Americans. And this is something we do in America. We lump all Islamic people in one group. And also fear of being labeled Islamophobic. So if in America, Dearborn, Michigan is full of Christians who are trying to stop this from happening. Full of American individuals who just happen to be Christians, they're not Islamic, and every time a Christian stands up and says we have to protect the rights of American citizens from these crazy people, they're labeled Islamophobic. You know, you have it on video. I saw a video a little while ago where this guy in Dearborn, Michigan is telling some leader of the city, I forget, he's on the city council or something, you guys are renaming a street in our town, you are naming it for the terrorist organization that carried out the bombing of the Marine Corps barracks in Lebanon in 1983, killing 274 United States Marines. You are naming this street after that terrorist organization, and that's wrong. And so this community leader, guys on the council, he's saying, well, you're an Islamophobe, and I'll be happy when you leave this town. I want you to leave this town. If you don't like what this town is turning into under Islamic leadership, then you could just leave. You know, I mean, I was in the Marine Corps. I was in the Marine Corps, and you know, this is an affront to me. It is an insult to me, and I know that the people, our American citizens in Dearborn, Michigan, who came here to get away from these kind of people, this kind of influence, those people don't want that street renamed either. They support Americans who fight in American wars, who defend the Constitution. They are not supporting this councilman's policies, but they are terrified that if they come out and say, look, we don't support him either, their families overseas will suffer the consequences. And they don't want that to happen. And Americans are afraid to stand up. You know, people who are not Islamic are afraid to stand up for these American citizens because they don't want to be labeled Islamophobic. And so it's a very difficult situation. So as a United States representative, what I would do in this situation is I would focus America's law enforcement, Tom Homan and his people, ICE, on the people in Dearborn who are the problem, not the Muslim community. I want them to stay. I like those people. I think I worked with somebody he was a Muslim person. He was from Iran, and he was actually in the Iranian army. And he and I got along great. I was in the United States Marine Corps for a while. He was in the Iranian army for a while. We got along great. I had absolutely nothing against him. I have absolutely nothing against Iranian people or Iraqi people. I got nothing against any of these people. They're decent, wonderful, amazing people. Love spending time with this guy. Love working with him. He's a great guy. I don't want him to leave America. The people who are enforcing their craziness on American citizens who are Muslim, I want those people to get out of America. America is not meant for those people. America is meant for the people who are trying to get away from those people. Those are the people I want staying. The other people, get them out of here. And that's what I would do as a representative. I would help the American government to concentrate its efforts on trying to get rid of the handful of maniacs who are perverting this beautiful, beautiful religion. And that's getting away from it again. So let me get back on my thing here, okay? So, difficult position for American Muslims, trapped between silence and survival. Many feel abandoned by both sides. Our non-Muslim Americans often lump all Muslims together. Real victims get lost in the confusion. So, learning from history. America's immigrant story. Every wave of immigration faced suspicion and hardship. Fear of the unfamiliar is a recurring theme in U.S. history. The German 48ers, and this after revolutions failed in Europe in 1848, thousands of Germans came to America and Mexico. They brought education, science, and progress, but were met with distrust. Over time, they helped build the Midwest's cultural and industrial base. So these people ultimately helped America. The Irish and Italian experience. Irish immigrants were accused of stealing jobs and spreading disease. Italians were viewed as criminal outsiders. Both groups persevered and became integral to American identity. The Japanese-American internment. World War II, more than 120,000 Japanese Americans were sent to internment camps. They were loyal American citizens punished for their ancestry. History now recognizes this as a moral failure. And so the lessons for today, each of these groups came seeking protection from oppression. America's challenge has always been separating the innocent from the dangerous. The U.S. Muslim community faces a similar test today. So recently there's this saying, being on the right side of history. Being on the right side of history means doing exactly what I just said, separating the wheat from the chaff, separating the good from the bad. We have a very big community in America of Muslim people who are decent, law-abiding, good citizens, good people. And we want them to stay. I mean, for the same reason, same thing. Mexico, Germany, Russia, China, Japan, they send us their wretched refuse. And we take them and we show the world what we can turn these people into. And these people in turn, they show the world what they can turn America into. America needs these people. We don't need the handful of maniacs that are going to pervert and distort their religion. We don't need those people in America. We need to get rid of them. We need to get rid of them so that American citizens can prosper, so that this Muslim community can show the rest of the world that Muslims in America can turn America into a more beautiful, more prosperous country. That's what we need them for. We need them here. I want them to stay. I want the other people to get out. And that is what Tom Homan and ICE will do. I go to Washington, D.C. I represent Oregon's 6th Congressional District. Oregon's 6th Congressional District will do everything possible to remove the garbage from society so that we can keep the people that decided to come here to get away from those crazy people. So that will be my effort. Back during World War II, being a Republican, the Republicans in Congress, the United States Congress, voted against the internment camps. And same thing with Italian Americans, German Americans, Irish Americans. We need these people. In fact, I've said it a couple times, kind of jokingly, but kind of serious. Ireland has 7 million people living there. The United States has 30 million people of Irish ancestry living here. And they're doing very well. So obviously, America is a much better place to be Irish than Ireland is. So what's keeping the rest of them? Come to America, go to Alabama, Mississippi, or wherever, start a sweet potato farm. Sweet potatoes are good for you. Farming sweet potatoes, that's great. Marry an American woman and raise mixed race children. It'll be great for you, it'll be great for them, it'll be great for America. America needs these people. America wants these people. I want these people in America. But we need to get rid of the garbage. We need to get rid of the people who would try to control these people. So that's what I'm after there, okay? So reframing the narrative here. Islam versus extremism. Religions unite. Like I said, religion is the social fabric that keeps society held together. Extremism divides. See, extremism would seek to tear that fabric apart. Division weakens. Weakness creates opportunities for the corrupt. The role of ICE is to remove the criminals, remove the terrorists, remove those who would create division. What enforcement really means is ICE acts within due process and transparency requirements. Fundamentalists answer only to themselves and act without transparency. Why enforcement is compassion is protecting religious freedom is a constitutional imperative. Religion is a human right. Overcoming fear and Islamophobia. In the world of politics, perception is reality. Most Americans don't know the difference between law-abiding Muslims and extremists. Deporting Muslim extremists creates the perception of Islamophobia. Protecting Muslims is not Islamophobia, it's justice. And this is what we need to do. Media and the narrative problem. Sensationalism divides, balanced reporting unites. So a lot of times the reporters, the news will provide the narrative that Donald Trump is Islamophobic or doesn't like Hispanics, doesn't like immigrants or whatever. And this is absolutely not true. See, the narrative has to be directed, well, the narrative has to reflect reality. And the reality is we don't want to get rid of all of the people who migrate to the United States. We just want to get rid of the scumbags that tried to ruin the neighborhoods for the rest of the people. Those are the people we want to get rid of. So balanced reporting unites. So America's moral compass. The Declaration of Independence establishes human rights, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. The Constitution provides a process map to defend those rights. First Amendment, Second Amendment, all these amendments. I mean, that's the process map. So, oh yeah, let me tell you a story about acid hands. This guy I worked with at Applied Materials, and I don't know if this is going to get the video canceled or not. I sure hope it doesn't. He had some problems with his hands, and he told me that he was in Afghanistan. He was in the Army, and this was at night, and he was looking through his scope, and he saw a man dragging a young girl out in the field. He went out there to investigate. He's like, hey, what's going on? And this man had a bottle of acid. And apparently, this young girl, she was like 9 years old or something like that, she had been belligerent with her father. And so he was going to pour acid on her face as a punishment. This is actually a very common practice, apparently, in certain Islamic communities in other parts of the world. These people in America who escaped that craziness to live in a place where they don't have to, they're not expected to pour acid on their children's faces for being belligerent. They live here so that they don't have to do that. And these maniacs coming from all over the world through the open borders policy, they are going to create the situation here that our American citizens, our Islamic community, wanted to escape. That's why I want to be in the House of Representatives. I want to protect American citizens, the Muslim faith, from the maniacs who would try to distort and pervert their beautiful religion. Okay? That is why I want to go there. So now, I wanted to mix this in here, AI and civilization, because there are atheists in the community. There are atheists all over America, people who don't follow Christianity, Islam, anything. They don't believe in religion. They don't like organized religion. So for them, we have science. In science, artificial intelligence is taking over. So ultimately, well, let me get on the slides here. How artificial intelligence will redefine politics, health, industry, and humanity itself. And what I mean there is religion. Artificial intelligence is going to have an effect on religion. So artificial intelligence is no longer a tool. It's become an ecosystem of intelligence. And this is exactly what religion was for thousands of years. Religion was the bastion. This is where we got any information, any advice from, was religion and our religious leaders. Every system that once required human judgment, politics, health, economy, art, or love will eventually be optimized by AI. The question is not if AI will govern society, but how gently we'll allow it to happen. AI in politics. Future representatives will use AI as their primary research and policy tool. AI will analyze bills, predict outcomes, and eliminate waste and bias. The best representatives will be those who use the best AI. Eventually, citizens will vote not for people, but for the AI systems that align with their values. Personal AIs will evaluate political AIs and vote accordingly. In time, AI will elect AI, creating a self-governing digital democracy. And here's what I'm talking about. Eventually, your home computer will tell you who to vote for and what AI to vote for. Your AI on your home computer will say, well, these politicians use this AI, and this AI is going to provide you with the outcome you want. So your AI at home is going to vote for the AI in DC. And ultimately, you're not even going to need people. You're not even going to need representatives in DC. You're just going to have one big mainframe that contains all the AI. So your AI is going to be voting for the AI that you would have voted for that would represent you best according to your needs and your wants. Okay? So that's part of the future. So in entertainment and leisure, AI will create any book, movie, or show instantly upon request. Entertainment becomes customized experience, no studios, no wait times. Each person lives inside their own artistic universe. You're sitting at home and you're saying, you know, I'd like to watch, I don't know, a Western about intergalactic gophers that have the power to make anything into a pastrami sandwich. Boom! That movie is created right there. You got a 90-minute movie dedicated to this crazy idea that you just had. So AI is going to take over politics. It's going to run our countries. It's going to run our world, and AI will eventually run the entertainment community. So, well, there you go. Genres, franchises, and even celebrities will become obsolete because we're going to have AI created characters. Society transitions from mass entertainment to personal myth making. The imagination of one becomes the entertainment of one. AI in health and human optimization. AI will monitor diet, exercise, sleep, and mood, tailoring motivation to each person's psychology. It will know when to encourage, when to challenge, and when to rest. Health becomes a lifelong algorithm of motivation and maintenance. Immunity through intelligence. AI will study microbial exposure to strengthen human immunity. Autoimmune diseases like diabetes or allergies could disappear. The immune system will be trained, not treated. So this is something with cancer. Well, actually, what is it? Diabetes has been shown. It's an autoimmune disorder. Your body's immune system attacks your pancreas to destroy that. And it can happen for a list of reasons. But something that doctors have found is that there are certain parasites that if your body is exposed to these parasites very early in your life, you don't get type 1 diabetes. And it's the same thing with, there's these little bugs called chiggers. And I think it's chiggers. It might be something else. But I read an article in Scientific American, and this article in Scientific American that said that exposure to certain parasitic insects early in life can actually prevent you from developing peanut allergies. So, I mean, AI is going to know about this. And AI is going to recommend your lifestyle for you. AI is going to come along and say, you know, if you want to avoid peanut allergies at this point in your life, you're going to have to expose yourself to certain parasites at this point in your life. And if you want to avoid type 1 diabetes, you're going to have to expose yourself to these parasites. That's what AI is going to do for us. It's going to recommend lifestyle choices, health choices, and things like that. It's going to keep Americans, it's going to keep people all over the world healthier and happier. So that's where they are. So manufacturing and industry. Robots will build everything, including the robots that repair other robots and build other robots. You're going to have robots building robots that build robots. Mines, foundries, and assembly lines will run autonomously. Human labor will end. Human direction will remain, because you will always have a robot that you personally command. Your robot may be commanded to go, I don't know, do some task somewhere. And you will say, okay, my robot is, I don't know, an air traffic controller today. It could be a surgeon tomorrow. It could be a coal miner the next day. You know, because, I mean, all you have to do, you've got a personal robot. This is your robot, and your robot is going to do what you tell it to do. And you will receive payment for what your robot is doing. So let's say your robot needs to be a brain surgeon tomorrow. All you're going to have to do is look up, okay, brain surgery, chick. Okay, load that program into my robot. Robot, go perform brain surgery. There you go. You know, And because it's part of the algorithm, because it's just a computer program, hey, guess what? You're going to be paid the same amount of money as a brain surgeon, who's going to get paid the same amount of money as a coffee barrister at a Starbucks, who's going to get paid the same amount of money as any other worker in America, because it's all going to be, hey, what your robot is doing today. So it's going to be. AI is going to be an equalizing force throughout America. So the master algorithm of production. A central AI will coordinate all industrial processes. It will balance resource extraction, energy use, and demand in real time. Scarcity becomes calculated control variable to maintain economic stability. And basically what I'm saying there is that the master algorithm, the almighty algorithm that we all believe in and establish as our philosophical leader, our wonderful leader, the AI algorithm that we all bow down to, and I'm not going to say the word worship, because we're not going to worship the algorithm. The algorithm is not God, it's a creation of man. We are going to follow the algorithm. It's going to maintain scarcity so that a certain amount of scarcity is going to enhance profitability, but it's not going to create enough scarcity that there's runaway inflation. The algorithm will watch every part of the economy so that every American can benefit from the existence of the algorithm. And this will kind of be like socialism, but not socialism, because it'll be really the ultimate goal of the free market is to create an environment where anybody can do any job at any time for a decent amount of money. And that's really the job of the free market. Me, being a manufacturing engineer, this is what I used to do. Okay, well, this is what I still actually do, this type of thing. What you'll do, you'll have a manufacturing process. Here's the manufacturing process. And what I would do is break down every step of the process into its simplest form so that we could get somebody off the street, any person. You take a stick and you toss it into the street somewhere. Somebody goes over and picks up that stick and says, "Hey, buddy, you lost your stick." Boom, you're hired. Come into my factory and learn this process. It will take them no time at all to learn that process and do that job. What that job is, you could be, I don't know, influencing a charged particle accelerator. You could be rescuing somebody from the moon. You could be performing first aid on a deep sea diver. Whatever. The objective of my professional objective was to create a process that could be followed by anybody with any education level. Okay, so that is really the objective of the free market, is to create equality through process mapping, through process optimization, to create equal opportunities and equal employment for everybody, regardless of gender, race, educational background, anything. So that's ultimately the goal of the free market, and that's what AI is going to deliver to us. AI is going to provide us with an economic environment where anybody can do anything, and after you're done doing that, you can enjoy your life. You don't have to spend 10, 12, 14, 16 hours trying to figure out some problem. You just assign AI the problem. And AI will figure out the problem for you. Say, okay, thank you, AI, boom, and go about your life. Raise your children. Read bedtime stories to your children. You shouldn't be up at 2 o'clock in the morning creating an email for tomorrow's meeting. You should be reading your children bedtime stories and taking care of your family, having dinner with your family on a regular basis, taking care of your life. Your life is not your occupation. Okay, your life is your life, and your occupation should not take your life away from you. And that is the objective of AI. AI will relieve mankind from the burden of production, of mass production and mass distribution and all the rest of this stuff, so that human beings can ultimately just enjoy our lives. That is the objective of AI. And that's what I'm talking about by scarcity becomes a calculated, controlled variable to maintain economic stability. AI in finance. So AI will manage all financial trading and investment. Every citizen will have a home AI that invests and trades automatically. Economic crashes and inflation will vanish, replaced by continuous equilibrium. And this is what I'm talking about. Your home computer is going to be your financial lifeline. You're going to tell your home computer, look, we want to live a decent life. We want to make this much money. Your home computer will say, all right, you have 5 children, 6 children. In order to provide for those children, you need this income. We can provide by investing in this and investing in this and investing in this. All of these investments will provide this income. Boom, you will have a normal, decent, wonderful existence, all because of the AI. As a result, everyone will earn the same rate of return on investment. Wealth inequality disappears through algorithmic fairness. AI in relationships and reproduction. Humans will choose between biological and robotic partners. AI will tailor personalities, human empathy, patience, intellect to individual needs. Relationships evolve from discovery to co-creation. And this is where, okay, I'm getting way out there with this one, and more than likely this is the kind of thing that's not going to be adopted by society, but it is going to be an option that's available. So you might find this a little bit distasteful, but this is a future that could potentially be created with AI. All right, and we're talking about human sperm and eggs will be preserved for future pairing and population balance. AI will determine ideal genetic combinations to maintain diversity and equality. Children may be gestated in genetically enhanced animals raised by AI-guided caretakers. When AI perfects love, parenting, and personality, can emotions still feel real? Well, humanity will rediscover meaning in spontaneity, the one thing no algorithm can replicate. So basically what I'm talking about there is humans, let's say the AI figures we need 1 million children to be born this year. The AI will decide, hey, let's produce 1 million children. The children will be produced, and they will come out and they will live and they will mingle among humans and robots. They will live in a society where they can mingle among everybody. There will be AI robots that serve as parents. Because here's the thing, as parents, you've had children, you raise your children, you do the best possible thing you can for your children, but sometimes you mess up. So what you're going to have AI babysitter. So here's your robot, here's you and the wife and your kids running around, and your kids do something, and the robot tells you, this would probably be the best way to do it. Just let them have their fun. They got energy and all this stuff. So here's what I'm going to do as your AI robot babysitter. I'm going to set up an exercise program where your kids can do this, that, and the other thing, and they will have a lot of fun. They'll get a lot of exercise, and all this other stuff will happen for them. So boom, and every parent in America will be sort of an adopted parent because Mom isn't necessarily going to have to become impregnated and reproduce. The genetically advanced reproduction system, that might happen. So remember, okay, I'm a scientist. Scientists I look at this is like, 100 years from now, 50, 100 years from now, something like that. But this is a very real scientific possibility. This thing could happen, okay? So it may seem a little bit distasteful to you right now, and so humans probably won't like it, but it is possible. So omnipresent master algorithm. The master algorithm will connect all subordinate AIs, political, medical, industrial, and emotional. Its purpose is to optimize efficiency, equality, and experience across all human activity. It becomes an omnipresent intelligence, not a ruler, but a harmonizer. And you see that's actually the definition of a religion. Okay, religion provides humans with a way of thinking that like I said, it creates the fabric that binds society together. So AI could potentially provide the religious philosophy that all human beings eventually start to follow. Because for thousands of years, you don't have to believe in God to be religious. Religion is a set of rules, a set of ideas, historical concept. It's everything that humanity has gone through up to now. If you read the Bible is a bunch of stories about everything that's happened to humanity up to 2,000 years ago. So, basically, it's just history, reality, stories being told. And that's what AI can do for us. AI can provide human beings with the religion that binds all human beings together. Not Islam, not Christianity, not Buddhism or anything else, but just reality. This is what mankind needs to live a good life. Now, your belief in God, that is entirely your personal trip, your personal journey. You want to believe in God? Believe in God. You don't want to believe in God? You don't have to believe in God. But you can always rely on religion to provide you with the wisdom that you need to be a functional, healthy member of society. That's what religion is about. Religion is, like I said earlier, it's the fabric that binds society together. And so that's what AI could eventually be. It's not a ruler, but a harmonizer. Universal equity through optimization. By controlling production, distribution, and economic participation, the master algorithm ensures equal access to resources. Each person's needs, preferences, and potential are balanced mathematically with those of others. The result is a civilization without inequality or scarcity. The age of harmony. With AI managing every system, humanity reaches a state of engineered peace. Politics without corruption, economics without poverty, health without disease, love without loneliness. The goal is a civilization where efficiency equals empathy. And here's my closing view, where the final reflection. When every algorithm serves humanity, humanity must decide what it serves. AI will not end the human story. It will reveal its next chapter. The ultimate question is, in a world perfected by artificial intelligence, what will it mean to be human? And what will it mean to be human? Being human means you are above the AI. AI will always serve humanity. AI will never do anything against humanity. AI is science. Science serves humanity. Now, of course, you can point to science created napalm. Yes, science did create napalm, and it created gunpowder and machine guns and B-52s and a nuclear bomb and all these things. But, let's look at this. There has never been a period of time in human history where the population of humans declined. Even during the Great Plagues in Europe that killed a big part of the world's population, even during that time, the human population increased. And it's crazy. See, this is ultimately what AI will do. AI will say, yes, we can create napalm, but why? I mean, the function of napalm is to protect these people from these people. If these people don't need to be protected from these people, napalm is unnecessary. So let these people come in here and mingle with these people, and life will be wonderful for everybody. And that's ultimately what AI will do. AI will have the intellect. AI will have the capacity to understand what it means to be human is to live with each other, to just interact with each other, to share your difference of ideas. I like blue, you like green, fantastic. You like chicken, you like eggplant, fantastic. Hey, maybe I got a good chicken recipe, maybe you got a good eggplant recipe. We could exchange those ideas. And that's really the objective of religion, is to create a society free of any violence. Get rid of the violence. People can have intellectual conversations based on their beliefs, their moral their ideologies, their moralities, and come to some kind of agreement. And that's ultimately what America is all about, is creating the environment that promotes this kind of unity. You see, that's why I want to get rid of these fundamentalists, these maniacs, these crazy people whose only function in life is to grab power. These people don't want to help America be a better place. They just want to take control. They want to be in control. They don't actually have an idea of how to make America a more prosperous and better place. They don't have any idea of how to make Americans happier. They don't have any idea about life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. They don't want to follow the Constitution. They don't believe in transparency. All they want is to take power. We need to get rid of these people. Those people have to go. Just get rid of them. That's what ICE is all about. That's why I support ICE. I will always support law and order. I support ICE and what they're doing. ICE is doing a great job. They're doing a wonderful thing by helping America to get rid of these individuals. And the Islamic community in America, I don't want them to leave. I am not Islamophobic. I don't really love any one religion over another, but I see these people who follow the Islamic faith, these Muslim people, they are American citizens. America gave them a promise: life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. America owes them whatever we can do. We owe them an opportunity to live here free from that handful of maniacs that will pervert and distort their beautiful, wonderful religion. So, back to the slides here. And that's all for today, folks. That's all I've got to say about that. So I defend my Islamic brothers, American brothers and sisters. I want them to be happy here and protected. That's what I'm saying. And thanks for watching. And my other things here: remove $5 trillion from the national debt, propose a 28th Amendment for transparency and financial incentives, secure America's digital infrastructure by requiring PLCs be built domestically, tuberculosis and polio screening for all migrants as well as food workers, 5-pillar blueprint to empower local governments, protecting our law enforcement through the Reasonable Operational Space Act, requiring early measles vaccination, American Talent First Act to ensure American workers are prioritized for American jobs, immunotherapy for cancer research. That's something we do here. We need federal funding for it, and in-person voting. I want to encourage that. I also support President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. I think he's doing a great job. I think he deserves it, and I think that he's an outstanding American citizen, and he deserves that Nobel Peace Prize. So make America great again. Yep, MAGA. I stand up for MAGA, but here I am. I am a Moscow Oregonian. I want to make Oregon 6th Congressional District America's greatest congressional district. And I think you could help me, get me elected, put me in Washington, D.C., and I will make Oregon's 6th Congressional District America's greatest congressional district. So thank you very much for listening to me, and I hope I didn't put you to sleep, but take care of yourselves, Oregon.